everyone, it's Carissa Wiley here for Concord and Ninth. Thanks for joining me today. It's time for an up-close and personal look at the brand new By the Fire stamp set and coordinating dies from Concord and Ninth. These are so much fun and so cozy for creating throughout those chilly winter months. Now, this stamp and die set includes this wood-burning stove as its focal point, but there are also several accessory dies included in this set that make your scene come to life. You'll spy some cast iron skillets, cozy blankets, a warm fire, as well as some detail pieces that really bring this wood-burning stove a lot of dimension and kind of bring it to life. You can create a stove that opens, or you can create a stationary stove, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a moment. Now, the coordinating stamp set includes some greetings that say, "Have a cozy day," "Warmest winter wishes," "Friend," and "Wishing you love and warmth." There are also a couple small stamps that add some texture and detail to your rug piece, as well as this plaid, which is perfect for the cozy little blanket. Here is a look at all of the elements die cut from some cardstock. You, of course, have your main stove there, as well as some hinges and a little function piece that I'll show you how to use here in just a bit. All of these pieces layer on top of the stove to give it some dimension. Now, you can either create this in a tone-on-tone style like I'm doing here, or you can create your stove in a lighter color and the detail pieces in a darker color to create more contrast. I'm just nestling these onto the areas of the stove where they belong, and you're gonna see how this really does just kind of bring a little dimension to what would otherwise be a very flat feeling die cut. I love that Concord and Ninth thinks of these things. They find ways to kind of bring die cuts to life, and these are absolutely optional, so you can either use them or you can skip them on your card. There are also several pieces that layer together to create your chopped firewood there. There are several sizes of flames, so you can layer those up. And then your little wood cradle here, I'm not sure exactly what that's called. There's another log option as well as a blanket. And there are also several options for steam. Now, I also wanted to show you that the stamp set includes the hello greeting, which fits perfectly in the window of this wood-burning stove. Now let me show you how to create a wood-burning stove with a functioning opening door. So I'm going to need my wood stove die as well as both of the door pieces. Now, if you want to create a stationary door, you would just use the inner piece, but I'm using both because we're creating a functioning door. And then I need this little rectangle piece that has that score line directly in the center. I'm going to nestle the door pieces inside of each other and then nestle those inside of this wood-burning stove piece, and I will adhere all of those in place so that I can run them through my die cut machine all at once and create a perfect knockout for my functioning door. Once I have these pieces die cut, I'm going to run the wood-burning stove back through my die cut machine and create a solid piece. This just creates a backer and it's completely optional for you, but you'll see I'll kind of nestle those on top of each other to give my stove an inside. Now, this piece here is what creates the hinge. The die creates a score line directly in the center of this, and I'm just folding over on that score line. And then I'm going to make sure that I reinforce this with a bone folder and kind of open and close that hinge a few times so that it's nice and loose and it will allow my door to open. Once I make sure that I have a nice crease and I've folded that back and forth, then I'm going to open this up and I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the left of the score line as well as to the right of the score line. I'm using some 1/8 inch tape here, but you could use some liquid glue instead. You just want to make sure that your adhesive is not crossing the score line so that you don't impede the function of this hinge. Now, once I have my adhesive placed, I'm going to remove the backer on the piece of adhesive that is to the left of the score line. This is going to allow me to adhere it to the back side of this stove with the window. I'm lining it up with the straight portion of the window there and just pressing that stove piece directly on top of it so that the hinge is adhered to the back part. You can see that here. Now I still have the right side of the hinge kind of hanging out, and that's where my door is going to attach. And before I attach my door, I'm just making sure that this hinge is moving freely. Then I can remove the backer from this adhesive and place my door directly onto the other side of that hinge. I like to make sure that it nestles really nicely inside of the window that's created by the die when you run it through the die cut machine. And now I have a functioning door on my wood burning stove. Now there is another piece included in the die set that is optional. I didn't use it on my completed card, but if you would like for something to kind of hold your door shut, you can use this little piece that's kind of shaped like a tongue. It also has a score line in it, so I'm just adding some adhesive to the right side of that score line along the flat edge, and I will remove the backer from that adhesive and I will position this on the back side of the right edge of my window on my little wood burning stove here. And that creates a tab that will then hold my stove shut. You can see I'm able to flip the door past it, and here is where it's adhered on the back. But you just kind of flip this over and then open your stove door. Now this piece is completely optional. It's just there in case you want to keep that stove door from opening on its own. Then I'm going to stack this on top of that solid wood stove die cut for the backer to create kind of the inside look of this wood burning stove. And this is where you can adhere your log and your fire pieces right inside of that stove, and the recipient can open that up. Now let's have a look at a couple of cards that I've created using this brand new By the Fire die and coordinating stamp set. You can see I've created a cozy winter scene here with my wood burning stove and a little basket of logs and a blanket there. This actually functions. So this is an opening door on this card. You can see I have my little tea kettle on the top of that stove as well with the little vellum steam coming out. And to keep this closed, I've just kind of tucked it into the stove itself. I didn't use that additional piece. And I kind of created some wall art using the Warmest Winter Greetings sentiment stamp from the coordinating stamp set. You can see my detail pieces on the rug here as well. Now for my second card, I have created a stationary wood burning stove. So this door does not function, but I have added some books to the rug here. These are from the bookshop die set from the pop-up shop sets that I love so much. You can see I have all of my chopped wood there on the rug by the fire, a couple little pieces of steam coming out, and I've added a lot of dimension by layering up those dimension pieces on the wood burning stove. I stamped Have a Cozy Day on my background that I die cut using a cover die from Concord and Ninth. And there you have it, a couple of cards featuring the brand new By the Fire stamps and coordinating dies. These are the perfect way to stay in and stay cozy as you craft throughout the chilly months. I can't wait to see how you use these stamps and dies in your card making.